like you're saying, people can be scared about. It's like, oh, as AI comes in, is it going to make the experience worse? And I'll say, I can't speak to the way other people are implementing it or other companies are implementing it, but the way ProLine is implementing it is in a way that is going to only increase and improve that experience. So one of the big things that we have seen by watching how AI has developed over the last couple of years, this sort of new AI, powerful AI layers and LLMs, is that the best way to deploy this AI is in the form of not a person, it's not a person, but an entity. And so it's as an agent. AI agents has been something that people have been talking about recently, and it's a form. It's where you take these AI tools and you put them together in a way that they can actually operate as a member of your team. And that's the way that we're approaching it at ProLine is we are launching an AI agents platform where you're able to add essentially additional team members to your team that are artificial intelligence. And so you're able to augment your team by adding in additional team members that are able to do things that just doesn't make sense to have a person do. Things like be able to answer the phone and schedule appointments at 11 p.m. at night. That's a thing that's going to delight customers, where they're going to be able to, in the middle of the night, if there's a roof leak, they can call your business, they can have somebody answer that's asking the right questions, that's going to get them scheduled for an appointment as quickly as possible, and is going to make sure that they get the help that they need. That's a great example of an application of an AI agent that is going to just simply delight our customers, ProLine users, customers. And the first, specifically that use case of answering the phones, that is the use case that we've identified as being the highest impact use case for AI agents. That is the most immediately valuable and that is the most thoroughly tested at this point. It seems like there would be easier AI things to add, and we actually are adding some other features we can talk about, like transcripts, summaries, call analysis, scoring. There's other AI features that we're launching as well in the coming weeks and months. But again, our main focus is on these agents. And the initial version of the agents are going to be able to receive incoming phone calls and book appointments, pre-qualify and book appointments from those phone calls, and then also place outbound calls to inbound leads. So if you have inbound leads coming from your website that are filling out a form, you can now have your AI agent place a call within seconds of that lead coming through to again, pre-qualify them, schedule them for an appointment. So that is the first use case, is actually providing a higher level of experience over the phone to your customers around the clock. We're going to be expanding that phone use case into other categories. For example, updating your customers around production or even sales follow-up calls. Those are other applications we're going to be looking at and exploring and making sure that we deploy new types of agents around those that are actually effective and are going to work. So that will come later. And again, we want to approach this carefully and make sure that we're providing a tool that's actually going to make the experience better. But the other layers here, the other capabilities, we're going to be adding more and more capabilities. Once we have the core AI agents built, which they're very, we're launching the voice agents now. Once we have that core agent, we're able to then start adding more and more capabilities to that agent over time. Not just different use cases for the voice, but also the ability to reply or draft text messages or send text messages, the ability to move projects around, the ability to enter data, the ability to log notes. And then long term, we envision these agents getting to the point where you can actually potentially talk to them. That's something that, this is a little further out, so that how that looks exactly may change, but the current vision is to actually get to the point to where you can talk to your AI agents and you can say, hey, can you go into my ProLine account and, add this add this campaign or add this stage or set up this quote template. And that's where we are working towards is making these true, highly capable members of your team that you can speak to, give instructions to, and then they can go out and take action inside the ProLine environment. So that's where we're headed with these AI agents. And it's very exciting. And we could have scrambled and probably put out some AI stuff last year, the year before, when everyone was first started talking about it. But we've intentionally moved slow on this. We wanted to identify what makes the most sense, what's actually going to be valuable, what's going to create the maximal value for our customers, is going to delight our customers. And again, getting back to our tagline, help our customers to sell more jobs. And we've identified the path to do that. And now we're taking action on that.
That's awesome. I mean, the second part of and still make it home for dinner. This is another thing that like we want our customers to sell more jobs. But again, everything that you're talking about is looking at our customer's customer. Like they're getting a better experience. You're making this contractor is accessible 24/7. And in the beginning stages of how the market treats AI, they're going to think this is kind of, it's kind of a fun thing. And they're going to realize this is actually really helpful. And I can get my problem at least started to be solved, which is roof leak or some sort of roofing issue or exterior issue. I can call these companies. I test this all the time with other home services, and I'll call like 3 to 5 companies. They don't answer their phone. It's still shocking to me in this year that people will not answer their phone. They do not have things in place. I'll break down really quick what I've talked about on other podcasts, but you can use kind of like a Ruby receptionist type of calling service. It's going to be a pool of people, US based. They're going to answer your phone. It's going to be $300 to $500, $700 a month. Then you can use somebody like SMA, who's a dedicated team member who I use as well. I use both of these companies. You're going to have somebody that's there, that's a virtual assistant that knows your company, that can do all those things you just said, which is answer phones, but also pre-qualify, schedule appointments, a lot of other things that somebody that's a virtual assistant can do. When you have AI and you add it to that, and you have a secondary after hours call or weekend, whatever it is, however you decide to use AI, you're just extending the same level of customer service that you're already trying to achieve by making sure you're accessible to your homeowners.
Yeah, I think a lot of people they hear about the AI agents and they're like, oh well, now I don't need these people in my business. I think it's the wrong way to think about it.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's the wrong way to think about it is because what we're already seeing is that the best contractors are layering this in on top of their human teams, and they're able to create a 10 times better experience for their customers, a 10 times better experience for their prospects. And so what's going to happen is the best contractors in each market are going to set the standard to where they're accessible 24/7, and it's probably a person during the day, but then even during the day, what if you get 5 calls at once? One person can't answer 5 calls at once.
Right.
So what happens to those 4 additional calls while your receptionist is on the phone with the first person? Do they go to voicemail? Why do they have to go to voicemail? Why can't they go to the AI receptionist who can still talk to them? So it's not about replacing the people. It's some people may try to do that, but they're just going to undercut. They're going to end up falling short of the new standard that great contractors are setting.
Yep.
The great contractors in every market are going to be layering these together so that regardless of when someone's calling them, it can be 2 a.m. on a Saturday morning. They're going to get, again, no one's getting tricked here. They're going to know it's an AI.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to know that an AI answered the phone. But no, the thing is, and this is what we've seen over the last couple of years, people don't care as long as they're able to get their questions answered. They're able to get scheduled for an appointment. As long as they're getting the help they need,
mm-hmm.
They would probably rather have a person on the phone. But at 2 a.m. on a Saturday morning, they understand they're not going to get a person. They're just going to be grateful they didn't get voicemail, right? Or worse, a full voicemail, which I've definitely called contractors and gotten this voicemail box is full. That's really terrible.
Yeah.
But so it's not, will some contractors try to use this to decrease their headcount? It's going to happen. But I think that while that's happening, there's going to be an equal number of really great contractors they're either layering this on top, and then they're going to grow as a result, and then they're still going to need more people.